Hey everyone, it's Paula from Just Love. We've been told many times from spiritual masters and Indigenous elders that these are interesting times in which we live. We are shifting from fourth world consciousness to fifth world consciousness. Interesting indeed, no one could deny that right now. Interesting and quite possibly confusing because coming with this new consciousness is a birthing period, and a birthing process is not easy. On the one hand, you have the entire planet locking down, which is exactly what Mother Earth needs, and she is reaping the benefits, as are her inhabitants. This time out from a spiritual perspective, and also just in general, gives us time to slow down and breathe and reevaluate. We're all going through a spiritual awakening right now, and spiritual awakenings are personal. Unfortunately, some people will lose their job or lose their business. But in the greater scheme of things, this has to be a positive as it gives the opportunity to look within, which is what this shift in consciousness is all about. We are moving from a consciousness that has looked outward to a consciousness that looks within. So that's all well and good, but then there are also a lot of conspiracy theories about what's really going on, which is adding to the already unnecessary fear. These conspiracy theories are linked to what people call controllers. Judy Carroll calls them the reptarian controllers. They're also known as the shadow government, and their aim is to manipulate policy in their own interest to support a larger agenda which is hidden from the general public. Political power resides with them and not on publicly elected representatives. There's a lot of information coming out now surrounding all of this, and it can be confusing. We are supposedly in a worldwide health pandemic which has caused an economic crisis. As we move into the fifth world energy, the old masculine structures and ways of living will fall away to make way for a more balanced way of life in all areas, allowing more of a feminine energy, reflecting more love, compassion, cooperation, connection, and authenticity. We are watching this emerge now as we show up and step up for each other. So do we really need to give our attention to what the controllers are up to? Does it matter that it's actually a pandemic of fear that the planet is presently ensconced in and not a health pandemic? Good to know, but ultimately it always comes back to, what are you going to do? Who are you going to be right now in the midst of all of this and moving forward? The controllers have been in residence since the beginning of time. They've been up to their tricks to try and take control of the planet for themselves for eons. But as Maris, an off-planet teacher, pointed out, their presence is required for us to enable us to make that all-important choice of love over fear so that we can evolve. He even goes on to say that these controllers are our blessing. It's a spiritual journey, whether you know it or not. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. This shift has been gaining momentum since the 1950s. It accelerated around 2011, and we are well and truly in the midst of it right now. All of us on Earth at this time chose to be here, and the people who are leaving chose to leave at this time before they came here. Maris told us that our planet is overpopulated, and that's the reason for this mass exodus. Our planet is expanding, and she needs to do this. Maris also tells us that we are having so much trouble assimilating this because our fear and dread of death is something that hasn't been addressed in a way where we can allow what is to be. We generally don't see death as a beautiful thing, to the contrary. So we can stop worrying about the revelations that the controllers have created a disease to shut the world down so that they can destroy our economies for their own agenda. We can stop worrying that the rollout of 5G is going to compromise our health, especially our respiratory system. We can stop worrying that this coronavirus may be a cover-up for all of the health problems that very well may arise with the rollout of 5G. We can stop worrying that the coronavirus is a front for the controllers to roll out 5G without any testing for health repercussions. It would appear that there are two things playing out here on Earth right now, again giving us a choice to tune into fear or return to the love that we truly are. If in your heart of hearts you just know that certain things don't ring true for you, stand up for what you know and speak your truth with grace. Remember, who you be is just as important, if not more so, than what you do. The bottom line is, if we are meant to be here, we will stay. If we are meant to leave, we will leave. Either way is a celebration. Off-planet beings often tell us how brave we are for choosing to be here at this time. It's not easy and it's confusing, but things will turn around. So if you've noticed since 2011 that things have not been going that great, that it's been a struggle to even be here, please know that we are so close to turning it around. So stay in the present moment. Do not succumb to wild imaginings. Ground yourself and know that you are love. Remember that you are a divine reflection of all there is. If you connect to this video, please share and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for listening.